I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Thursday, February the 6th, brought to you in part by VitaFirm, Performance That Pays. At the NCBA Trade Show, check out booth number 1459 for more information. Trump was acquitted on Wednesday afternoon, and now we can get back to business, start passing some legislation that has to do with our country instead of concentrating on trying to get rid of him when we knew from the get-go that it wasn't going to happen. But everybody's excited to get back to business and maybe start taking care of a few things that are on the desk. Let's look at the board for Wednesday, February. Live cattle futures down 87 cents at 120.75. April down $1.47 at 119.17. The board was down hard, I tell you, on Wednesday, and open interest has plunged as a lot of these speculating funds have exited the trading floor there in your live cattle and feeder cattle pits. Feeder cattle were down really hard. March feeder cattle down $1.82 at 135.67. April down 167 at 137.25. Fat cattle trade has not developed yet, but we did see a loss of ground as early in the morning we did hear of some pocket steady bids in Nebraska, in that if a guy would take steady, your packer would call in and see if he could get that, and that would have been, you know, somewhere around that 194, 195 in Nebraska. But then as the board continued to plunge through the day, those bids were no longer available. The only trade we did hear of that was confirmed was in Iowa. A little more trade there and slightly lower again, about 800 head is all. Few live sales at 122 and a few dress sales from 192 to mostly 193. So the only trade of any significance there would have been about $1 lower. Box beef cutout values were kind of mixed on Wednesday. The afternoon trade, choice cuts 210.72 down 21 cents, selects 207.94 up 43 cents. That choice select spread is just under $3 at $2.78, and just a moderate trading volume of 133 loads. Talk about your feeder cattle, your real-time index on DV Auction, 140.73, actually up 39 cents because we had a couple of premium sales up in the Midwest there, and the volume was really light in the southern plains, even on our big high volume sales, partly due to the market and partly due to the snowstorm that come across there. I know schools were canceled in Amarillo, Texas area. We had snow come across Oklahoma, quite a bit of snow in some places. OKC West only had 3,600 head for the two-day sale. So they had about 1,500 calves there on Tuesday and only about 2,000 head of feeders on Wednesday. That 3,600 compares to 5,500, a light run a week ago, but 10,400 head the same week a year ago. Feeder cattle market was $3 to $5 lower. Calves on Tuesday steady to firm in a light test, but just not a lot of trading there. People can't really get excited about selling cattle on a down market, or when it's hard to get them in, or they know the buyers are going to have trouble getting them where they're going. Winter livestock in Dodge City, the weather was a little better up there, 2,100 head, but they had limited comparison due to the snowstorm that hit there last week, so really hard to get a good test of the market. Some individual quotes. Sterling Livestock Commission, I'm not sure I've ever talked about them before. We've been drawing their market, but a very impressive quote there at Sterling Livestock in Sterling, Colorado. 98 head of 749 pound feeder steers bring 148.25. And Platt Livestock Market, Platt, South Dakota, 66 head of 755 pound steers bring 150.50. Bassett, Nebraska had a sale on Wednesday. Of course, it's always impressive, and you look at this automated market report out of Bassett from DV Auction there. Look at your best tested weights of steers there, and I only showed the steers because being here at the NCBA trade show, I pulled this a little bit early, and they were still selling some replacement heifers and some cleanup stuff there, so the receipts will be heavier than what you see here on this report. But 555 head of the 5-weight steers, average 539. 179.33, and over 1,200 head of 6-weight steers in Bassett, Nebraska. They average 643 pounds at 165.79. That would be an impressive quote on one load, and that's over 1,200 head of them, guys. 523 head of the 7-weight steers averaged 735 at 155.08. Few individual quotes out of Bassett: 94 head of 523-pound fancy light steers, 189.25, and 91 head of 606-pound steers bring 173.50. Did have some replacement quality heifers there. I pulled this picture here of Todd and Pam Hollenbeck's replacement quality heifers there. 60 head of them weighed 731 and bring 148.50. Be a top steer quote anywhere on some replacement quality heifers. That's your feeder flash for Thursday.